everyone, it's Audie and welcome to Cozy Dragon Crochet. Today you're coming along with me for a small yarn shopping trip for yarn for my grandma's blanket, even though I'm technically on a yarn ban. I'm also going to take you along with me for today's market, so let's get started. Yarn has been acquired. Oh my god. I spent about $80 at Hobby Lobby. I got cotton yarn for these blankets. I'm going to be making a couple of them. I have one that I'll show you on screen. That's the one I'm making for my grandma. And I have one that I want to make for myself just to have. And it's one I'm going to show you on screen right here. But I got this. I love this cotton yarn. It's pretty expensive yarn because it's cotton, but I figured it'd be more sustainable that way anyway. And this cotton is so incredibly soft. All the other ones were way too rough. Not a great blanket texture. So I went with that. I'm going to show you how many skeins I got of each color. So I'm going to start off with all the yarn I got for my grandma's blanket. Instead of doing pink roses, I'm doing yellow ones. And I felt that the colors used in the original image were a little too dull. My grandma loves bright and vibrant. So I went with yellow. I got 5 different skeins because I need yellow for the strawberry garden blanket too. But I got 5 skeins of this bright yellow. For the green details, I did stick with the more muted green just because I think it would look better with the bright yellow, just kind of offset it. So I got 2 skeins of this green. Lastly, for the actual background of the granny squares, I got 5 skeins of this off-white. I didn't want to go bright white just because she gets a lot of people at her house, and I felt that bright white would get dirty really quickly. So I figured off-white would be better. And that's all I got from Grandma's blanket. I got so much because the actual pattern doesn't show you or doesn't tell you how to make the actual blanket. It just shows you how to make the granny square. So it tells you it's going to be a 7x7 granny square. So I took that, and then I want it to be queen size. I want it to be like a queen size blanket. So that's 90 by 90 inches. So that's total by 13 by 13 granny squares, which means 169 granny squares. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. But I think I can do it. I've done it before. Much smaller, but I've done it before. I'm going to try again. And hopefully it turns out well. If I don't have enough yarn, I can always go back. So, oh well. For my blanket that I'm going to be making for myself, which is the strawberry garden blanket, I got 2 skeins of this green, 2 skeins of this bubblegum pink, 2 skeins of red, 2 skeins of hot pink, and 3 skeins of pure white. I'm not sure how big I want to make this blanket yet. Once again, the actual pattern is more for the granny square, not so much the actual blanket, like a lot of patterns I tend to have are. So it's kind of been weird for me, but the actual pattern itself is meant for a smaller baby blanket, and I want to be able to use this, so I'm probably going to have to modify and make it bigger. So, don't know how many granny squares for that one yet. That one's going to be after I finish Grandma's blanket, because I want Grandma's blanket to be ready for Christmas. If you guys watched my previous video, I'm wanting to make my grandma a blanket for Christmas since she has been my biggest supporter for my crochet business. So just as a way to pay her back for all the money she spent on crochet stuffies, she has more stuffies than I do. I decided I'm gonna gift her a big blanket that would actually end up costing several $100s for some people. So yeah. So I'm going to take you guys on that journey in a separate video, but today is market day, so let's get into that. Today being market day, I wanted to tell you guys how much I have in inventory. Today is a rainy day, so I don't suspect my little market to go that well, but I will tell you what I have in inventory. As of yesterday, I have $1,239 in crochet inventory for this market. I have some other projects I want to do, but for right now I need to finish the dumpster fire commission. I'm almost done with that. I just had the bodies to make, which I'll do today. And then I also have a little Ika commission that's not so little. I'll probably just make progress on that. I definitely won't be able to finish it today. It's just too big. But we're going to be making some progress on some of those today. As for the market, this vlog's going to be really choppy. Just because I've never vlogged a market before. My mom, who I do business with, does not want to be in the video. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for sure. But we'll see what happens. The next time you guys will see me will be at the market. Let's go. The car is all packed. Getting ready to head over to our market destination. So here we go. Market has officially started. I already bought some crystals though. This big guy. And I got a couple towers. The lady was selling for super cheap. All these were only 20 bucks altogether. Yeah, this one, it's a little bit windy today. And I got this one. I love crystals, though I can't identify them, so it is what it is. It's still very, very windy. I'm going to attempt to make some of the dumpster fires that I need to make for my commission. We'll see how far along I get. It is after the market, a couple days later. I wanted to give you more footage of the market, but then a couple of my family members came and they stayed pretty much the whole time. So you only got a little bit of the beginning. So I'm going to tell you everything that I sold, how much I made at the end of the market, and then I'm going to give you a profit update since everything. So let me get my notebook up and then I'll tell you everything I sold and how much I made. Okay, so for this most recent market, I'm going to tell you everything that I sold and also tell you what my mom sold. She makes the sublimated tumblers and like little resin trinkets, stuff like that. So let me go down the list and I'll tell you what I sold in order. I sold one mini octo in the lilac color. That's the dusty lilac color from the yarn store challenge. I sold the mini cow. I sold a mini penguin. I sold a ghost and a pumpkin, so I'm down to just one of those now. I sold my big dragon. I've had that for forever. I've had a giant blue and purple dragon for well over a year, and it finally sold this last market. This lady who bought it, she comes by my booth all the time, and her daughter, every single time she comes along, is always like, I want this dragon for my birthday. Every single time. And this Sunday happened to be that little girl's birthday, so her mom came and bought it. So it finally has a new home. Hooray. My mom sold one of her big 40-ounce tumblers, and she also sold a 20-ounce tumbler, both veteran themed. I sold the purple cat ear beanie I made a while ago, which would have been last season, I think. So I finally sold one of those. I sold a mini lemon turtle. My mom sold like a Pokemon themed tumbler, the 20-ounce. And then I sold the spider, and I also sold a pickle. So more than what I expected for it being a windy, rainy market. It was not a great market day in terms of the weather. But overall, for the grand total of the market, we made a total of $170, which is not bad at all. It's one of our tops for this season. I myself made 125 of that. 45 of that was my mom. So yeah, the last few weeks I've been selling a lot of my big stuffies, so I had to do a little bit of a restock, which I'll show you at the end of this video when I do the weekly makes portion of it. But yeah, it's been crazy. So I'm going to tell you how much I have earned so far this year, how much I've spent this year on crochet business stuff, and also tell you how much in profit I am now. Because I'm no longer in the negative, y'all. I'm so excited. So let me get into that. Okay, so on top of the last couple weeks markets, which I think last week I made 195, this week I made 125, and then on top of that, I sold my grandma's stuffies to her. She was only supposed to pay 100. She ended up giving me 160. Like, good Lord, Grandma. Grandma's always got to overpay, doesn't she? And then I also had a commission completed. I finished all those little dumpster fires finally. So I got paid $50 for those. And so as overall this year, I've made $1,797.80. And then I spent $1,569.04. That is all my yarn, all the canopy outdoor market stuff, business licenses, stuff like that. I've paid, like, everything I paid for just for my crochet business. And so now I am in a profit total of $228.76. Hooray. And we still have almost 2 full months left before this Sunday market stuff is over. And I have so many more markets to do this year. So we'll see where I am at the end of the year. I'm hoping to eventually make a livable wage off of crochet. That is going to be quite the journey, but we will see if that ever happens. But I'll keep you guys updated as we go. Now on to our weekly makes. So I'll show you everything I made this week. I'll be in a different outfit, but yeah. We're good. We did it. Woohoo. Alright everyone, it is time for the weekly makes, and Thor has finally made his appearance. You always have the worst timing, don't you? Anyway, I'm going to show you everything I made this week, which isn't much. I'm just going to be transparent right off the bat. I worked a little more this week, and on top of that, we're preparing to move my brother out so that way he can go to school. Sadness. But I'm going to show you what all I made this week. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, I have made some progress on Grandma's blanket. I need to make 169 granny squares. But this week I managed to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yellow roses. So hello. So I managed to make the start of the granny squares. I managed to make 10 of these in just a few days. So I'm going to make some more again today just to keep up with it. And then my plan is to just do one step at a time. So I'll make 169 little yellow roses, and then I'll crochet the green leaves, and then I'll crochet the off-white actual square shape. And then by the time I'm done with them all, I'll already be using the yarn to sew them together. So wish me luck. It's going to be a lot of weaving in of ends because each rose has 2. And that's just the first part. So that's definitely going to take me a day or 2 to weave in all these ends, but it will be worth it. If I don't finish this by Christmas, which I'm a little worried about because I have less than 130 days, I can always just give it to her for her birthday next year, which is like early summer, give or take. So, yeah, we'll just do that instead. I'll keep you guys updated though, I promise. You'll get a grandma blanket update every video I post except for next week's. On to the next thing, which, let me give some context first. I had that giant toothless snuggler for a while. It did not sell because people would look at the price tag. They were so excited about seeing toothless, but they would look at the price tag and be like, maybe not. But finally it sold to a little kid who had been eyeballing it for weeks and I guess saved his allowance to buy it, which was really exciting. And he happened to buy it right after I lowered the price a bit, which I know I probably shouldn't do, but honestly, it was taking up space. I had it originally priced at $70, and then my blue and purple dragon was still $55, so I was like, I might as well just knock it down to $55 too. So that's what I did, and he ended up buying it that day. So, lucky kid, he got toothless. But I managed to find a smaller toothless pattern. This one still took a little while to work up just because of all the individual pieces. However, it is mainly no-sew. The only thing you really sew on are the wings and the head. But I think it turned out pretty cute. I hand-painted these safety eyes myself, or sinker eyes, I guess is what they are actually called. I actually need to order more of those. But I hand-painted those. And this is entirely made with Hobie yarn. I only have a very small amount of black left. So I don't know what I'm going to use it for just yet, but I'll figure it out. But he turned out so cute. I love him so much. I think I would sell him for probably $20. I think he would fit in the $20 price range for sure. The rest of the makes for this week were very bat themed. I was in a bat mood this week apparently. So the first bat I made was this black sparkly one, which is made with Juicy Couture yarn. I should have bought more of this yarn when Joann's was closing. I just bought this yarn on a whim whenever they were doing their super yarn sale because they were closing. And I should have bought more of it. I regret so much. Because I ended up actually loving this yarn. I hadn't touched it before, this bat, and it worked like a dream. It feels like a dream. I love it so much. It is so sparkly, but I only have one skein. Not even a full skein anymore because I've used it to make a bat. So I guess I'll just get it used up. It is what it is, but he turned out so cute. So I made 2 more. These 2 are made with Hobie yarn. I made this purple bat. Also turned out super cute. This was that purple yarn that I used for the witch crow's hat. When I suggested I use it to make a cat. Bat rhymes with cat, and they have some pretty similar features, I'd say. So I think close enough. Loki has a bat face. You never know. And then lastly, I made this gray bat. So it still turned out pretty cute. The gray is a little bit more of a boring color. He might still sell. He's still so cute though. Very small and chubby and chunky, and I love him so much. This is a free Instagram pattern, so it will also be linked down below along with the toothless pattern, which is also a free Instagram pattern. So I'll have both of these linked. Last but certainly not least is the big girl, Bella the Bat. I used burnout blanket for her. I used the black and this purple variegated. I don't remember what the exact colorway is called. The eyes are actually from Half Doomed Creations. I bought a few sets of these last year before I started painting them myself. And they are so pretty. Fun fact, they glow in the dark. I don't know if her new ones do, but I know these ones do for sure. But they are so pretty, so sparkly. I used the variegated because it just happens to match the, like, this way that the sparkles kind of show. So they're so pretty. I think she turned out so cute. I was debating keeping her for myself, but I think I'm still gonna sell her probably for $40, $45, give or take. But she's so cute. I can always make another one if I really want to keep one for myself, which I probably will, just because of how cute she is. That is the end of this week's makes. So that is also the end of this video pretty much. Next week's video is gonna be not so crochet related. I start my senior year of college, so I will take you guys with me getting ready for that. I already have some of my school supplies coming in. I'll show you a school supply haul. A very realistic one, not like what you've been seeing on TikTok where it's like super expensive, all new items. Obviously, I'm going to be reusing some of the same stuff I have. Yeah, I'll show you that stuff next week. So I'll see you guys then.